Hello everybody, it's me, Tonic TZW, and I'm back with Kraken number 84 because, as I said on a couple of videos ago, I'd gone through a bit of a drought of Krakens over the past couple of weeks, and then all of a sudden I seem to be knocking them out like cheap radios from a Chinese factory. This is the Tier 2 Medea, which was a free destroyer that I got somewhere along the line, and it's actually quite a little fun boat to play. Its guns aren't too shabby, its torps aren't too shabby, and when you put the two together, it's not a bad little boat to be running around in. Now, my two buddies, Jazz and Chin Laden, um, I think they're in the Mikasa. They wanted to give it a go, and I thought, well, if you're taking those two things out, then I am going to bring a destroyer just to give you a bit of protection. And they did need it, but this turned into a bit of a brawly, scrappy 360 head on a swivel fight. And I'd never expect a tier 2 game, or sort of tier 2, tier 3, to go to the full 15 minutes. And I wasn't actually paying attention to the clock on this one because there was so much going on. But there's what, one, two, three, four destroyers on each team. And um, we do get things spotted and we move out to engage. It takes a little bit of while positioning with this thing. But we're going to run in, we're going to join the battle. I think that's the V25 out there, and it's a carrier match as well, which just makes things a little bit more difficult for destroyers. But that V25 is hidden between his smoke. It looks like he took um, a torpedo bomber torpedo and lost most of his health, so hopefully he is going to back up. But I think he may very well be our first victim. Now, as I said, the guns on this thing aren't too shabby, but he's backing out of it, straight line reverse, and he's focused on our destroyer that's parked in this smoke screen out there, but somehow still has himself spotted and is shooting his gun. And we're just trying to position ourselves to basically get the most out of where we are. We know we've got other destroyers out there. Um, we know we've got battleships pushing in. We're going to single launch the torps and just try and keep things at a distance. Now that V25 is still bumping out. I think it's a Matsuki. I'm not quite sure, but he's gunning that guy and getting himself spotted when he's on low health instead of dropping detection. There's a lot of fire going his way, but we managed to land a lofted shot straight onto that V25. Now we drop out of our smoke and we do get ourselves spotted, but we want to try and keep things spotted so that the people can get fire on them. These lofty lobbed shots are going in on that Romulus. He knows there's a smoke screen here, and we all know what to expect next, because any good destroyer captain seeing a smoke screen and knowing there's something hiding inside it is going to come running in and turn and put his torps through it and see if he can claim himself a potato kill. So although my twist and track indicator was pointing sort of off my bow to the left of the screen at the moment, it's now flipped to that Romulus, so I know he is closest. So if it flips again, I know that there's something pushing in from the left hand side. But we're going to stay focused on this guy and just use our guns to whittle him down. And Chin is there trying to pick off some of the bigger ships, and as I'm chipping away at this Romulus, Chin turns to me and he says, "Let me finish this off with my secondaries." Now, I've already got one kill. That DD is literally a one shot. I could breathe on him from here and kill him. But I agree to let Chin take it with his secondaries, because sometimes we do have gentlemen's agreements on things. And I start taking the fire. I see the torpedoes come in. I really want to pull the trigger on that one. And Chin eventually does pick it up, but that Gangut has sailed straight into, sorry, not the Gangut, the Chiren has sailed straight into the middle of the cap, and red team are already on our cap, so I decide that I'm going to go rushing back, see if I can get some torps on this guy. But he is clever, he plays with his throttle, he goes forward and backwards. And I kind of leave Chin out there to try and get some shots on this guy, as well as pushing out towards Red Cap. So we notice that guy's moving forwards, so we put a couple of torpedoes a bit further forward, and we're not really expecting anything off them, but we put some shells across the top as well, hoping for a fire. I think that this guy was intent on pushing through to our cap, and although those two torpedoes are running in, I'm not sure if I actually get a hit here or if he out accelerates. And there we go, I do get one hit, but there's no flood on that, so we could potentially still get a fire. I also see that there's a red team destroyer running around the back of the map towards our carrier. And by the time our carrier realizes this, it's a little bit too late for him. And I say it time and time and time again in videos that if you're going to play a carrier, move, use the engine, don't just sit in one spot and wait for the destroyers to come and find you. So I put my torps out at this Ganget, I get some fire onto him. He knows they're coming. He tries to chunk me as much as he can, but it's pretty inevitable that he is going to die. And I'm going to continue pushing to the south, well, the north of the minimap, but our south. We lose the carrier, but the fact that his spotter plane is up means that I can see where that little DD is going to. And I want to take him off the map. But as we're approaching, I'm expecting him to cut around the side of this island. So I put a spread of torpedoes across there. And he's coming in pretty much full throttle. It looks like he's got his engine boost on as well. And what we're going to try and do is use our guns when we need to and distract him from the fact that those torpedoes are running in. It's a useful little tactic, that. It takes us a second to get our eyes in on guns. But I think he realizes we're starting to chunk him from some health. He's trying to get his torpedoes angles on me. The spotter plane above him picks those up. And I leave it in reverse and keep backing out, knowing that he is going to get taken out. So that is kill number 3. Kill number 3. We're at a huge disadvantage. It is 4 ships, plays 2. We've lost our carrier. They have not lost theirs. We have a tier 3 battleship, the Ishizuchi, or the Zucchini, I think, as I've heard some Americans call it. Now, my concern here is that with a red team carrier still in the match, he is going to want to be torpedoing and bombing that battleship. So I don't really want to be hanging around in front of that battleship and having the planes spot me when there are 4 ships still left on the map. We see the cruiser pushing down. We're looking for this island to our left to get a turn on. We see planes coming in. We expect that cruiser to be pulling in tight around that corner. So we launch the torps towards the edge of that. And then I realise that the carrier is actually pushing down with this guy as well. I get my angles all a bit wrong here, and I'm pushing forwards a little bit too hard, and I get myself detected and then take a bit of a trip to the beach. Now that bugger there obviously decided that he wanted to keep all his guns on the Ishizuchi, and came straight out, thereby avoiding my torpedoes. But the reload on these things is quite short. We see where the carrier is and we get the torps off towards the carrier. But we are located. I need to get away from this island. And that bugger needs to die because I don't want the cruiser anywhere near me. I pop my smoke. The bugger spots me. All his guns are straight onto me. But he is burning. We've got a fire on him. He's got himself spotted. So I can keep laying the fire onto him. But at that moment in time, we lose the Ishizuchi. The carrier takes the torpedoes and dies for kill number 4. And the bugger's out there, who I know is nearly dead. So we're going to wait a second to position ourselves, but we get spotted. We hard turn around this island, waiting for our guns to pick up, and we start playing with the throttle as well, trying to have his shots fly over us, and then we'll gun it forward again and see if he pulls his shots back to the rear of us. But looking at this, he's going to die one way or another. He's got a fire on him. I'm shooting him, and the torpedoes were going to hit him anyway. So that is kill number 5 for the Kraken Unleashed. One of the worst things about playing destroyers down at tier 2 and tier 3 is the complete lack of any effective AA, which gives the carriers a bit of an advantage over you. And as you'll see, even something as simple as a spotter plane is problematic for a destroyer down at tier 2. Now I know there's a destroyer on cap because the cruiser was last spotted sort of off my bow. There's smoker there, which was mine, and I think he's using it, but we get him spotted and he is pretty much full health, which means that he's just been sailing around smacking everything, and nobody has bothered to take a shot at him at any point. But we pick up some cap resets, and then we notice that there is fire coming in from that island to our front, and it's getting lofted across the top. We're using the same trick, playing with the throttle to go forward and back. Now I know that that cruiser can't see me, so it's the destroyer spotting for him. So I decide that I want to get out of here, drop detection, and then see what we can do with that cruiser, who I believe is pretty low health. Can't even remember what I hit on the command wheel there, but there we go. He is sneaking in behind there. We try to get some shots across the top, and that would have been a great kill had I landed on him, because as I said earlier, I wasn't really paying attention to how much time we had, and I was trying to play cautiously but remain aggressive. And this spotter plane above me is making my life a little bit of misery. And I don't know why I do what I do next, but we do not the torps, but we spam the torps out because we know that destroyer is still out there. But I actually come in behind this island and I pop a smoke screen because I'm trying to hide from a plane. And I forgot about the fact that I am the only ship left on the map, and if I'm going to pop a smoke screen, then I can't see the plane to shoot it down. I think part of me was hoping that it would time out and disappear, and that would let me make a move on this cruiser. I'm certain that he is using this rock for cover and just playing, you know, piggy in the middle, keep the island between himself and myself, and then I can't kill him. But knowing he's on low health and knowing he's a low tier cruiser, I've switched to armor piercing ammunition. Now he either dodges, or those torps are just a little bit too early for what we're doing. But we decide to come around the corner on him, and like an old man with a teenager, he goes off a little bit early and pays the price. I get the other DD spotted, but no sooner than I get my guns onto him, thinking I can potentially win this one, than the clock ticks down and the battle is over. So we end up with just under 45,000 damage. We end up with a 6-pack, but it potentially should have been a 7. But like I said, Chin Lad and I sometimes have gentlemen's agreements on these ones. So that's Kraken number 84. I'm Tonic. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please do click the like button, and if you haven't already and you want to see more content, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and you'll get a little message in your inbox when I put new content on. And there's plenty to come this week. Take care and goodbye.